Greetings, debaucherers. Ghost Rider is back after spending Father's Day weekend tearing up a lot of pussy with... Oh, God. I'm not reading that, Ghost Rider. He's tearing up a lot of pussycat with daddy issues, or at least that's his claim. Kind of worried about what he actually did, but I digress. It's time to get rough and rowdy with this recap like we were at a Mariners-Angels game. Topical! First up, we had Andrew's You Don't Score Until You Score Baseball versus 108 Stitches. Andrew's team looked a lot stronger this week, with catcher Alejandro Kirk blasting 3 bombs and Dansby Swanson remembering he actually has talent as he blasted 4 of his own. For Stitchy, she finally edited her lineup a bit, mainly by putting Xander Bogaerts on the bench and Jonathan VR at shortstop. For the record, VR is currently playing in AAA. Hopefully this teach isn't teaching Fantasy Baseball 101 to her students. I'm sure she's solid at everything else, though. In other news, Andrew's wife is pregnant, so yay! And that's where that extra strength came from. Dad strength! Well, with his newfound strength, Andrew demolishes Stitchy 9-1.
Hey, big boy. Hey, how you doing?
Next, we had Rick's High and Tight versus Kyle's Dinger Swingers. Rick's lineup reenacted the critically acclaimed Pete Alonso versus the World, where the polar bear faces off against the 7 evil Metses. Is that supposed to be a Scott Pilgrim thing? I don't know what Ghosty put in his coffee this morning, but Pete Alonso's not in a musical, and I'm only saying this because he typed it out. Just like this commentary on his own commentary that he's not going to read. This is getting oddly meta here. Anyways, Pete Alonso had 3 bombs, which was most of Rick's offense. Dinger didn't do too much better, but did well enough to snag 4 offensive categories. Pitching-wise for Kyle, Lance Lynn finally made it back from spraining his, knee or something. He had 13 strikeouts and an ERA of half of that. So much for long-awaited returns. Corbin Burns burned the competition with 2 starts, 19 strikeouts, and a sub-2 ERA. Rick's pitching was much better in all categories except whip, leaving this matchup a 5-5 tie, to which the soccer fans are probably cheering. Next, we had Charlie's Frankie Spanky BBs versus Dylan's Rock the Vote. Dylan's second-place team had a string of bad luck, with Mookie Betts hitting the IL. Last week, he was Fookie Betts, and this week, he's now Dookie Betts. Well, that was Fukin', but we'll move on. Dylan's pitching didn't do too much better, holding an ERA of 6 with 60 innings pitched, and only 43 strikeouts. For Charlie, his team was so hot, even Cody Bellinger got a bomb. You know, there was some weird shit at work if that happens. Even 48-year-old Justin Turner got a stolen base. I'm surprised he didn't trip over his graying beard on the way to the bag. The Trevor-ending Story got a bomb in 2 bags, and Giancarlo the Staten Island Ferry, that's a Staten Island Ferry joke for those of you who've been to New York City. Stanton hit 3 bombs. Charlie's pitching had a lot of highlights, but we're pressed for time, so I'm just going to summarize every pitching performance in one breath. Good. With that, Charlie's spanky ass takes this matchup 8-1. Next, we had Dr. Hoptologist versus the Wander Years. For the doctor, Shohei Ohtani hit 3 bombs, 10 RBIs, and had an OBP over 500. Carlos Correa added 2 bombs, and there wasn't much else to add. For Devon's side, Bobby Witt Jr. seems to have adjusted to Major League Baseball pitching with 3 bombs last week in a bag. Frederick Freeman had 6 runs, 2 bombs, 11 ribbies, and a 5.33 OBP. Side note, whenever I say ribbies, Ghost Rider spells it out, and the way he spells it makes it look like the rib version of chicken nuggets. So every time he writes it, I think of a nugget-sized piece of rib, and maybe a baby Yoda eating it. I should really stop doing these when I'm hungry. I agree, Ghost Rider. You should. Dylan Cease led the way for Devon's pitching, going for 24 strikeouts over 2 starts and a very nice .69 ERA with an even lower whip. Albert's pitching was not so good, with an ERA bordering 5. He does get 6 quality starts, which is the only category he managed to win. Runs and RBIs were tied, so the Wander Years take the victory 7-1.
Suck me, beautiful.
Next, we get All That Yaz versus Fukin'. For Scott, Jock Peterson hit 3 solo shots and Bo Bichette hit 2 bombs and nabbed a bag. Don't ask what his OBP was. He got 4 quality starts from his staff, but Yazzie had other plans. Yordan Alvarez, who should be renamed to the Launching Pad, blasted 4 bombs. He's got 22 bombs, and it's not even July. Paul Goldschmidt continued his golden year with another bomb. Yazzie gets 6 quality starts this week, with 2 of them coming from Max, don't call me French fried, or Freed, whatever you want to fucking call him, I don't know. Yazzie pulls this one out 9-0 and takes the Trevor Bauer beatdown of the week. Next, we had The Dominator versus Drive Monkey Drive. For the Monkey, Rowdy Tellez blasted 3 bombs, and while the rest of his lineup looked like poor dudes at a strip club giving out only ones, Dom's lineup channeled its inner Arnold, with Kyle Schwardaddy, J-Rod, and Javi Baez hitting 3 bombs each. Marcelo Ozuna joined in the action, turning his assault away from his wife to a baseball and hitting 2 bombs. Ooh. Too soon? Pitching was very odd as Dom and Jimmy threw a plethora of pitchers at each other. Jimmy managed to narrowly take strikeouts, but the real battle was over ERA on Sunday. Going into Sunday, Jimmy had a comfortable lead in the category until he decided to say hasta la vista to it by starting Jose Berrios, who buried his ERA. However, Dom's pitching fired back with an almost as bad performance, so both teams ended up tied in the ERA to the 100th of a point. It's not the first time in the last 6 months this has happened to Jimmy in fantasy sports this year. The teams end up in a soccer fan's dream, another 5-5 tie. Last but not least, we had what would usually be a very special occasion. 13th place versus 14th place, a mega cripple fight. But we did have one last week, so it's not so special. But F it, mega cripple fight time again! Time! In one corner, we have Pat, the manager with the first overall pick, and Aaron Judge, while in the other, we have the Queen of Spite and the manager of Shohei Ohtani. The pitcher, that is at least. Sierra's lineup led the way, with Will Smith slapping 3 baseballs in the face for home runs. Vladito did badito, while for Pat, Aaron Judge blasted 3 bombs. Logan Webb had 13 strikeouts, 2 quality starts, and a very nice .69 ERA. Nice. Bombs and quality starts were tied, and Pat takes this one 5-3. Congrats on finally taking a mega cripple fight victory.
That's all, folks.
Now it's time for those awards. And leading off, the Jose Royd Seiko Award goes to Dom with his team's 14 Wait, I feel the spirit of He-Man taking over me. Oh God. I can't help but to declare Andrew the winner in this. By the power of Dad's strength. Hadouken! Okay, that was weird, so congrats, Andrew. Ghost Rider, let's never do that again. For the Oakland Liquor Store Award, Alex's All That Yaz takes it with 6 bags. Gentrification coming.
Heineken, fuck that shit!
Dominatrix of the Week goes to, for once, not Stitchy. Instead going to Devin and the Wander Years.
What color is my underwear?
The Brazzers Choke of the Week goes to Dylan with his gag-worthy loss to Frankie's Spanky BBs. 2 chokes in a row, Dylan. Oof.
What are you doing, step bro?
And lastly, Debauchery of the Week goes to Charlie, the Spanky Man himself. That's going to do it for me. If you don't mind me, I'm going to tuck into a plate full of nugget-based ribs and cry myself to sleep. Voice Guy out.